There is one image of Milarepa that everyone remembers, even those who know nothing else about him. A thin man, almost naked, sitting in a cave high in the Himalayas, wrapped in a single white cotton cloth, while the snow falls and the wind howls outside. The cold that would kill an ordinary person in a single night does not seem to touch him. He is warm. He even smiles. How is this possible? The answer lies in a practice with a Tibetan name, Tummo, which means inner heat. In this chapter, we will try to understand it, gently and without pretending to know more than we do. Let us begin with the body itself, because Tummo belongs to a whole family of practices called the 6 yogas, and all of them work with what the tradition calls the subtle body. This is a way of seeing ourselves that may sound strange to modern ears, yet it is not so far from our own experience. Alongside the physical body of flesh and bone, the Tibetan masters speak of an inner body made of energies. They describe it with 3 things: channels, winds, and drops. The channels are like invisible rivers through which life flows. The winds are the currents of vital energy that move along them, the same energy you feel when your heart races with fear or steadies in deep calm. The drops are the points of concentrated vitality. You do not need to take any of this literally to feel its truth. We all know that breath and emotion and attention are tangled together, that a frightened mind makes a tight chest, that a peaceful breath quiets the heart. Tummo is the art of working with these inner energies. Through long training in posture, breath, and visualization, the yogi learns to gather the scattered winds and draw them into the central channel, the great river at the core of the subtle body. There, the tradition says, a small flame is kindled at the base of the spine, and as the energies pour into it, the flame rises, and a profound warmth spreads through the whole being. This is not a trick of imagination alone. Modern researchers have actually measured monks trained in Tummo raising the temperature of their fingers and toes while sitting in freezing rooms, drying wet sheets draped over their bare shoulders with the heat of their own bodies. So the cold that could not touch Milarepa was real cold, and the warmth was real warmth, born from within. But here we must be careful, because Tummo is not really about staying warm. The heat is a sign, not the goal. As the energies gather and the flame rises, the practitioner experiences a deep and steady bliss, a happiness that does not depend on anything outside. This is the heart of the matter. In ordinary life, our energy is scattered in 1,000 directions, chasing this desire and fleeing that fear, and we feel restless, divided, never quite at home. Tummo gathers all that scattered force into one place and turns it into joy. The inner heat is the warmth of an undivided being. It points to something the listener may already half know, that beneath our agitation there is a wellspring of contentment, and that the same energy we waste on worry could become the fuel of a quiet, blazing happiness. The other yogas of Naropa work with the same subtle body in different states. There is the yoga of the illusory body, which trains the practitioner to see the solid world as a kind of dream, vivid but without weight. There is dream yoga, the practice of staying awake within sleep, recognizing a dream as a dream while it unfolds, and so loosening the grip of all our waking illusions too. There is the yoga of clear light, the meeting with the luminous nature of the mind itself, and the practice of the bardo, the in-between state, and the yoga of transference at the moment of death. Together they form a contemplative technology, a careful set of methods refined over centuries for transforming the raw energy of a human life into wisdom. I call it a technology on purpose, but I must add a caveat, and it is an important one. These are advanced practices, and they are not meant to be picked up from a book or a recording. The masters insist that they can only be learned from a qualified teacher, step by step, with the right preparation, because the inner energies are powerful and can be misused. So nothing in this chapter is an instruction. It is only a window, opened so that we can understand what Milarepa was doing in those caves and feel the dignity of it. And here is the thread of meaning. What Milarepa shows us is that the body is not the enemy of the spirit. So many traditions treat the body as a burden to be punished or escaped. The yogas of Naropa do the opposite. They take the breath, the warmth, the very energy of being alive and make them the road home. The frozen mountain that should have been a tomb became, for Milarepa, a place of bliss because he had learned to find his fire within. This is the deepest lesson of Tummo, that everything we need is already inside us, waiting to be gathered and kindled. In the next chapter, we will follow that fire into its fullest expression, the joy of a man who owned nothing, wore one cloth, ate nettles, and yet became the very image of freedom and happiness. We will speak of impermanence, of letting go, and of the strange and beautiful paradox by which renunciation, far from being deprivation, opens the door to the deepest joy of all.